How are we doing, everybody? How are we doing today? I feel like it's very pale. The me, of course, first of all, but also the camera. And I'm sorry if that's the case because things got changed around, so I had to change around my live stream setup, and it kind of messed things up. So it was a little bit crazy. And I didn't get to set it up the way that I wanted to, so forgive me. Yeah, hello, everybody. Hello. You guys can all hear me, right? This is all working. Feel free to talk in the chat. Welcome, everybody, to the stream. This is wild. This is crazy. I am so excited to be here. 67 people in the stream. So, welcome all. Yeah, so obviously we are celebrating here. So we have a drink here. I'm being kind of lame because I'm trying to stay healthy. So I'm drinking hard seltzer. It's like a strawberry lemonade hard seltzer because there's not a lot of sugar in that. So that's dope. I will institute the rule with obviously reason at a certain point. But super chat, I'll take a drink. You can ask any question you want. That's going to be just running through the whole stream. So, hello all. Thank you a million times. Thank you for 200,000 subscribers. Thank you for bearing with us as we were like late for 200,000 subscribers, which is just wild. Yeah, it's crazy. The way that things grow on YouTube is a little bit insane. Yeah, it's crazy to me how fast things grow on YouTube, and how like things build accumulatively on one another. So like the idea of like it took a really long time to get to 100,000 subscribers. To get to 200,000, maybe it took like a third of that time, which is just wild. So yeah, I want to just start out by saying thank you to you guys. We were so blessed to have this job and this career, and to have you guys come out here and help us is incredible. So yeah, I'd also like to start by saying, oh, thank you, Feldegriff 1998. Thank you for the super chat. And take a drink here for you. You have to put Braveheart directed, starring Mel Gibson. He won an Oscar for directing. It's my favorite movie of all time. That's already on the channel. I don't know if it got removed, but we definitely filmed a reaction to that way early in the early days. So you're going to have to go ahead and check that out. So everybody coming into the stream, please, it's super, I don't know if you guys saw the news or the videos or anything like that, but do we have any mods in here, by the way? I think we have some mods. If there's mods in here, let me know. Hatsy Patsy's over here. So please just feel free to put this in the chat, the thing about the questions, as per usual, with the drinking thing, but also, most importantly, in the description, we have a link to our kind of new project that we launched, very specifically me, called the Storytellers Guild. And it's basically a book club meets a writer's group all in one. There's a free version of it. There's a paid version of it. It's super. I made it as cheap as is humanly possible. It's $2 a month. And you have access to writing streams. You have the ability to write your own stories and post them to this community. And then once a month, you get the ability to submit your own story, and we can publish it as like an audiobook. So there's just tons of opportunities for all of you guys who are interested out there. It's something that I think is really cool, and I'm really proud of it. So if you guys do want to go ahead and check that out, that would be incredible. Yeah. So just go check that link out, please. It means a ton to us. Please go check that link out. I really want to make it a cool thing and a thing that matters for you guys, and we're going to really try and make it as incredible as is humanly possible. So please go ahead and check it out. Hello all. How are we doing? I'm going to jump in the chat here a little bit. Yeah. So guys, look, we're just going to hang out for a little bit. We're going to have some drinks. We're going to talk. And we're going to chill, and it's going to be great. Ernesto Chacon. Hi, James. In your last live stream, I agree on skipping the scary movies due to the crass humor, but it raises the question on what comedy films, PG-13, R-rated, will you react to on the channel? I don't know if we'll react to comedy films on the channel. We haven't reacted to a lot of comedy films because I feel like, I don't know, there's a lot of kind of that like crass humor, and we're not huge fans of that on the channel. So I've generally tried to stay away from that. I don't know though. I'm not gonna predict exactly what we will or won't do as far as those things are concerned. Fell to Griff, brother, I know for a fact that we reacted to it. So I will throw that out here, guys. I don't want to talk a ton about reactions just because we always talk. I mean, obviously you guys can ask questions and stuff like that, but as far as like little like random things here, we can, of course, but I don't want to kind of get into like reaction requests too much, just because I realize that this is kind of a thing that people want to do, but we want to have kind of this be a little bit more of like an interaction with the fans and be able to talk back and forth about some things. And I promise you, we see your reaction requests. We see them in every video, whether we respond to them or not. We see them. So don't worry. If we can do them, we will do them. To talk to you about Braveheart, we've already done a Braveheart reaction. So if you can't find it on the channel, it must have been removed because of copyright, but we have definitely already done a reaction to that. If you are new to the stream, welcome. The rule is, we're drinking some hard seltzer over here. The rule is you do a super chat, I'll take a drink, and you can ask me whatever kind of question you want. And we can go off of the movie stuff. We can really do fun stuff here. We can do whatever you guys are feeling. So feel free to do that. If you guys want to check out the book club, the Storytellers Guild, link in the description. I will be just your best friend, and that's some really cool thing that we've been doing, and I've been on there. So we're kind of doing a subathon, so to speak, for the Storytellers Guild. So let me just pull up those numbers right now so that we can get this subathon going, baby. How are we doing tonight, guys? How's everybody doing? You guys are all great. We really appreciate you guys supporting the channel the way that you do, and we just want you to know that we could not do this without you. Like, literally, we couldn't do this without you. Reaction videos don't mean anything. Well, okay, that's not true, but they don't mean a lot unless there's people to react for and to. And so that's really cool. So yeah, feel free to put some questions down there. We'll be talking in the chat. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to pull this up here. Holy cow. All right. On the free tier of the Storytellers Guild, we have 86 members. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for that. And over here on the premium crazy tier, we have 38 members. Wow. That's insane. All right. Alasdair Macleod. Thank you, brother. What is that name? Where are you from? First of all. Second of all, £5 super chat, I believe. Just got back from a night out after seeing The Nun 2. I enjoyed it better than the first one. Just recently watched your reaction to that one. Nuns scare me. Yeah, it looked pretty good. It looked interesting. My only worry was that it was kind of like more gimmicky than the first movie, and it really was just like, oh, people are scared by nuns, so we're just going to keep doing this scary nun thing until we run out of money. And I think there were other ways that I wanted to see the Conjuring universe go that I was a little bit disappointed that that's where they would go. It really felt like money grabby. Necro. So, James, what caused the shift to pursue your new projects? It's not exactly the same route of things to do. Yes, it isn't. So, I mean, look, I started doing movie reactions because I wanted to tell stories, and I was like, oh, this is a cool way to watch movies and to learn more about movies and storytelling and possibly get paid for it. And it took off, obviously, and it's become this huge thing, which is insane. But kind of in the background, and I haven't wanted to talk about it or push it too much. I've been trying to kind of find different ways to tell stories. We had an animation script for a while that we pitched with no success. We couldn't even get in the room. There's some comic stuff and different things like that I've worked on with my cousin. Just a whole lot of stuff. But I kind of kept running into this frustration, which is especially with film, it takes so much to get a project off the ground. You have to raise money to raise money to raise money to talk to somebody about raising money for the film to finally maybe make the film if you do a million things. And it drove me crazy. Having done YouTube, I really like just going out there and doing stuff. And so I started thinking about this maybe 6 months ago probably, about writing books, because I'd written scripts and I'd done these things and I had these stories that I wanted to tell, but I was kind of sick of waiting for other people, waiting for the process, depending on other people. And so I just decided, look, I'm going to go do this myself because nobody can stop me and because I can control how hard I work. And so I started writing a few short stories. Those have been published. I have a few more that are going to be published, I think in November. And then I started writing a book, and me writing the book kind of made me think about doing this whole Storytellers Guild thing, and that's kind of where that all came up. So yeah, I'm writing a book. I'm almost finished with it right now, and then I'm going to send it off to the editors, and hopefully we should have it out by November 20th and 21st. That's the weekend of November. That's what we're looking for. I don't know for sure yet, but that's the idea. I'm very excited. It's fantasy. It's like a fantasy crime thriller. It's dope. It's really, really, really cool, and I'm very, very, very excited. So yeah, I mean, look, if you care about that, if you care about the channel, feel free to go ahead and check out the Storytellers Guild. It means a lot to me, and I really tried to make it something that wasn't just like, hey, go follow this email list so I can tell you about my life, because that's boring, and there's a lot of email lists that can do that, and I don't think it's great. So I really tried to make it something that was worth your guys' while, just people who are interested in its while. And so if you like anything about stories, like I said, there's book reviews. You can post your own stories and interact with the community. You can do all sorts of these things, and you can do it yourself. So there's Write With Me streams, there's book reviews, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I'm going to shut up about it. Please, please, please check it out. Mods keep talking about it. I want to talk about some super chats. Madison Sicca, you are just the greatest person in the world. Thank you. 920. Thank you so much for the super chat. Here's to you, first of all. Second of all, your question. 1, since I've heard you love to cook and bake, are there any cooking/baking shows that you watch? If so, what are some that you like? I also love to cook as well. Now I'm waiting for my dream to open my bakery. Well, Madison, where are you from? Remind me, and don't, if it's weird, don't say, but remind me where you're from, just because I'm kind of curious as to where you could start a bakery. Yeah, I love the Great British Baking Show. My fiance and I love watching the Great British Baking Show. It's super chill. The sound levels on this video are really low. That is not good. Hello? Really? Are you sure about that? Hello? All right, so sorry. I'm getting distracted here. So, yes, I love watching the Great British Baking Show. That's really cool. It's just a vibe, bro. It's super chill. And I also add conflict to it because it's not conflicty enough. I always start rooting for different people and go, oh, I want to do this thing and talk to these people about this and do whatever, and be like, I'm going to root for this guy here. I want him to win, and just root against everybody else. But I love the Great British Baking Show. Super fun for baking. I don't watch a lot of other baking shows. There's this one show on Netflix, a cooking show. I forget what it was called. It was like all the different countries. And it just followed. It was like every episode was a different country, and they had to cook delicacies from that country. I cannot remember the name of it, but that was really cool and really entertaining. I also will admit that I like Gordon Ramsay a lot. He's really funny. And I think he's not as much of an a-hole as people like to think he is. And he's definitely playing it up for the camera, and I think he does some good things off camera. And so I really like the guy, and I kind of find a lot of his stuff really entertaining. So that's that right there, Madison. Alasdair MacLeod. I'm MacLeod? I'm sorry, brother. Thank you. Both my names are Scottish. I'm from Scotland. Greetings from Scotland. I just feel pathetic now drinking strawberry lemonade in front of a Scot. I would drink whiskey, but I have other things to do tonight, so I cannot do that. I've been getting into whiskey and learning about it, which is kind of cool. I feel like it makes me a man. Maybe I'm just insecure, but I can't do that tonight. Would you ever watch that horror movie, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey? I was thinking about it. I thought it was really funny. Like, I like the idea of it. It cracks me up. But the biggest problem there is that I heard it wasn't very good. I heard it was kind of hacky and it wasn't very good. And so I was tempted not to watch it because it was kind of hacky and it wasn't very good. So we'll see. Maybe I'll watch it when it comes out. Who knows? We'll see. We'll find out. I thought the idea was funny, and I think that things need to go in public domain whether Disney wants them to or not. So sucks for them if it goes in the public domain and it's their characters that they own. That's how those things work, and what I don't like, and we can change the laws, I'm cool with that, but what I really don't like is that, like, Disney gets special treatment because Disney's rich, and I think that's stupid. So I'm kind of cool with stuff like that happening, and I don't mind it. Jessica Caleno, thank you so much for the super chat. Let me send a drink your way here. I'm working on a short horror story I shall upload on the Storytellers Guild soon. Hope everybody enjoys. I can imagine how hard it's been trying to take on so many projects. Just make sure you don't get burnout. Yeah, I'm really trying. You know, it really helps that I super care about the Storytellers Guild and this book that I've been working on. So it's insane. I've been working really hard on it, and I'm really excited for you guys to see it. Like I said, it's going to be coming out in November. We're also going to be going to a convention in November. I think it's just going to be me, but I'm going to be at a convention in November promoting it, and that's going to be super exciting too. So this is all like breaking news, by the way. I don't know if you guys know Dragonsteel. It's a convention run by Brandon Sanderson, who's just kind of a huge fantasy author in the space in Utah, Salt Lake City, Utah. So not really White Noise Reacts, but I guess I have gotten a booth there for the book. So if you guys did want to come and meet me or any of the other, people, I'm at least going to be there in November. So that's pretty cool. Go ahead and check that out. Yeah. So it's crazy. Sorry, I'm a little distracted. How are we doing on the stream? Josh A., thank you so much for the super chat, man. Your hook reaction was emotional, or made me, I'm assuming you meant to say me, very emotional. Yeah, cheers, brother. Hook was great. First of all, you can ask a question. So if you want to ask a question, please ask a question, because I feel like I owe it to you. Yeah, Hook was a great movie. I really enjoyed Hook. I love Robin Williams. Robin Williams is one of my favorite actors. Rest in peace. He's just great about comedy. I feel like he was even better in drama, to be honest. So yeah, man. Robin Williams, put some love in the chat, man. Robin Williams is great. Penny Pizza. Yeah, man. Do you look at the messages from YouTubers YouTube subscribers, I'm assuming is what you mean, who can't afford a Patreon account and who can't give you money? Yeah, we try. So there's a email underneath all of our videos that you can reach out through. We do our best to respond. I'm not going to make promises. It is a business email. And there's a lot of subscribers and not very many people behind the scenes running the whole thing. So I can't promise responses, and it's kind of just hard for us to do that. Even if it's not a paid or not paid thing, that's really just at a certain point a perk that you have to limit because there are so many subscribers, which I guess is a really good problem from our perspective to have, but you just have to be careful with that. Also, and I'm not saying you, but I think that just you have to be very careful as a creator to kind of set limitations between you and the audience, because there can be some kind of strange people who try and reach out to you individually. So yeah, those are just some of the things there that if you're not always getting responses from people's DMs or things like that, that's just how that goes. I as a policy do not answer DMs, or generally don't, because I started out doing that and it was great, and then I kind of got burned and people would send me naked pictures and all sorts of crazy things. And so, yeah, it was something that I just didn't really want to take part in because I didn't want to get spammed with crazy DMs. So. Who proofreads your writing, and how worried are you about publishing for the first time? Hatsy Patsy, thank you for the question. So I have a few people who proofread. I have a friend of mine who's proofreading it, and then I'm going to bring in some editors to do developmental editing. There's like different kinds of editing that you do in the book world. So there's developmental editing, which is like larger editing sort of stuff. And then it's like kind of plot stuff and like, oh, I don't like how you did this. You should do this better. And then there's like what they call line editing, which is like, oh, this sentence rhythm is off. This thing here is off. And then there's something called copy editing, which is it's just punctuation. It's just, oh, there's the wrong comma was here. This thing was here, whatever. Those sorts of things. So I have all three of those people, but I am looking for ARC readers, as they call them. So early readers. I'm going to post something about that later. But if you are interested, obviously, and you're in the guild or something, you can reach out through there. But also, feel free to send emails through the Pee Wee Cinema's business email. I am looking for ARC readers, and your name will be in the book. I'm looking for 30 ARC readers, and I'm going to put their names in the book. Boba Strikes Back. I hope strikes back against that terrible Boba Fett TV show. Thank you so much for the super chat. $5 for the good work and cool content, and $5 for the whiskey. Cheers, man. Thank you, brother. I wish this was whiskey. It's not. It is hard seltzer. We were talking about whiskey earlier, and I said it wasn't a whiskey night. So, cheers, brother. I feel like I gypped you now. Feel free to ask me a question as well, because I'm answering questions for super chats. Vastos, thank you so much, man, for the super chat. Cheers again. Another whiskey connoisseur. Have you ever tried a single malt Yochi? It's a really smooth whiskey. I highly recommend. Love your content. Keep it up. I am not a whiskey connoisseur. I am getting into whiskey very, very, very vaguely. I'm really not into it completely though. So I don't know what that is. I'm open for you to tell me. I know the difference between brandy and rye whiskey, or sorry, bourbon and rye whiskey. I know those two differences. I think I prefer bourbon over rye. And the thing that I really like so far is Irish whiskey. Irish whiskey is my favorite. It's because it's smooth. I like the buttery taste, and it's really good. So there's that. Yes, really quick, mods. There's a link in the description that I put for the Storytellers Guild. If you don't know what that is, it's a book club and writers group thing that we're doing together with you guys. You get book reviews, you get writing streams, you can post your own stories, and you have a chance every month to get your story published as kind of like an audiobook, free of charge, obviously. So check it out. It means a ton to me. There's a free version. There's a $2 a month version. It's the cheapest possible thing, and there's like a ton of perks. So check it out in the description. Mods, please put that in the chat if you can, as well as the Pee Wee Cinema's business at gmail.com for anybody who wants to do ARC reading for the book. Madison Sicca, thank you again for the super chat. Thank you so much. Cheers. I'm gonna, you know what, Madison? You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna chug the rest of this here. I feel like a college kid. This feels really stupid. So I'm going to stop chugging it like a pig, but I will finish this for you. Thank you for the super chat. What's your favorite musical movie that you've seen? My older sister used to do directing for a few musicals at my high school way back before I graduated there, so she helped me with Mary Poppins, The Addams Family, and Annie. Done. I directed a play in senior year of high school, actually, for a little bit, which was pretty crazy and pretty fun. Musical movie. Sound of Music is just a classic. I love Julie Andrews. She's one of my favorites. I really like The Greatest Showman as well. I have kind of like a sweet spot for it. I don't think it's like the highest quality thing or anything like that, but I think it's a well done movie and I enjoyed it. So yeah, probably those two. What about you? Thank you again, my Scottish brother, for the super chat. Do you plan on reacting to movies such as Anaconda, Halloween H2O, or this classic Sean Connery movie, The Hunt for the Red October? I don't know. I don't know if I can make predictions as far as reactions. Like I always say, I keep in mind your guys' suggestions. We see tons of them. Maybe not all of them, but tons of them. Like, trust me, just because we don't answer every comment, we see a lot of them, and they're taken into account as far as like what we're doing next and different things there. So please, please, please don't worry. I would love to watch some Sean Connery stuff. I'm not sure if there's kind of an audience for it, but I would love to watch some Sean Connery movies. I think he's a pretty darn good actor. I'd be interested in watching his Bond, to be honest. But yeah, I don't know. Let us know, man. Gotta go. Okay. All right. Boba Strikes Back. I will see you later, man. Japanese whiskey. I have heard good things about Japanese whiskey. And they can't call it... What can they? They can't call it Scotch, but it is technically Scotch, right? Because Scotch it's like champagne, where it comes from a specific town in Scotland. And so if it's not from there, they can't call it Scotch, but they call it like Japanese whiskey. And I hear it's even better. I don't know though. That's just my cousin was telling me something. Not Nobu. Somebody else was telling me about that. But yeah, I don't know. Tina, thank you so much. Have a great night. Ethan, thank you for the super chat, brother. Cheers. Enjoy your reactions. You and the girls are great. Curious, have you guys seen Avatar 2 yet? Would you want to react to it? We haven't seen Avatar 2 yet. None of us were huge fans of the first movie. I don't know. I don't know if people want to see us react to that and kind of like trash on it. But that's a possibility. We'll keep it in mind for sure. What advice would you give to people thinking about going into writing? Stop thinking about it and do it. Yeah, dude, there's tons of publications out there that are really cool. Even, and I'm not just repping, but even if you want to do the Storytellers Guild where there's like no stakes at all, and just get some feedback. You have to realize that it's very easy to go, and it's not easy to get published, but it is easy to write a story and shop it around. You can go on Duotrope, you shop your story around. Most of the time, you're going to get rejected. It's like a 5% acceptance rate. But you have to understand a lot of that has to do with just, like, it's not the right vibe. It's not what they're looking for. It's not necessarily a quality judgment on your part. And I really just think you do best by doing it. Now, that's just me. That's my personality. I prefer to do things. I prefer to not, like, just practice and do these sorts of things. I don't know. Take a class. There's tons of classes, tons of seminars online for really cheap or for free that you can do. You could go check those out and really just get it out there and hear what people think, learn, take their advice. People are usually going to be right. Discern for yourself, but people are usually going to be right. If they're like, oh, this thing's too slow, this thing's too fast, do whatever, and then go for it, man. I mean, there's never been a time to try and write. Going into it, you need to know just off the bat, you're not going to make money. It's very hard to make money as a writer, even if you're successful. Lots of successful writers also do another job in publishing. In fact, most successful writers have another job in publishing. So you have to know that. It's not like movies where you're going to be like, well, I mean, even in movies, you're not always rich, but it's not like some glamorous industry where you're going to be crazy, filthy rich when you're doing it. But it's really fun, and if you care about stories and you really, really care about it, you should go check it out. Madison, I told you, dude. I told you, the pie crust cinnamon rolls. Anybody who wants like the yummiest snack ever, pie crust cinnamon rolls, bro. Amazing. So dope. So delicious. Try it. Secret tip, and it's incredible. For the community growth of Storytellers Guild, are there any plans of, say, like Patreon or Discord? So the Storytellers Guild, the paid tier is on locals. It was better to me. That's Patreon meets Discord. It's better. It's cheaper, and the perks that it offered on site for people were better than anything else. So that it is there. That it's that already. go check it out. I liked it because it wasn't just Discord where it was kind of like this messenger thing you could post. If you join the Storytellers Guild right now, you have the ability to post publicly to the whole thing. You could post a story, you could post an article, you could post whatever you want, and that's something that I thought was really important to make it an actual like community. So that's why I chose the site that I did. You have the ability to do that right now. That's kind of the vision behind the Storytellers Guild, is that it's like, oh, it's this community where you can write and you can hear me talk about writing and book reviews and different things like that. So yeah, it is that now. If you're interested, go check it out. And there will be sales and different stuff like that we'll do as things go on, promos, make the prices cheaper and everything else like that. So please go check it out. It's a passion project. And I think it's really cool. And I really, really tried to make it something that gives back to you guys, where it's just, there's little to no effort on your part. There's little to no money or anything like that on your part. A lot of the paid version of it was just because people are going to be publishing stories, to get around some legalities as far as like publishing stories and people like plagiarizing. I wanted to put it behind the paywall to protect my stories and your guys' stories. But also because this website, I swear I would have done it for free. If this website let me do it for free, I would have done it for free. But I really liked the community interaction that existed on Locals, and I didn't think that existed on any other kind of media. So feel free to check it out. It means a lot. Michael Bull, thank you so much for the super chat. I prefer comedy and drama over sci-fi, fantasy, and horror, but the discussion at the end of 2001: A Space Odyssey was so interesting that I subscribed. I hope you guys get around to more comedies and dramas. I mean, look, dude, we do lots of comedies. Dramas. We do the seltzer's getting to me, man. We don't do a lot of comedies on the channel, but we do a lot of dramas, and there'll be definitely more to come. 2001: A Space Odyssey was a weird movie, man. It was just a wild movie, but we had a good time, and it made me think. I don't really know what to think of it. It feels kind of pretentious, and I can't decide whether it is pretentious or it's well done. I still don't really know yet. I'm torn. Ernesto, have a great night, man. Thank you for all your support. Would White Noise ever do a meet and greet with the reactors? We've thought about it. Maybe this is just an ego thing, but it's really like I'm terrified of it, because it's like the last thing I would want to do is do like a full-on meet and greet and then nobody show up. And I realize also, like, we have fans all over the internet and all over the globe, and so to be able to count on people all being able to come together in the same spot is kind of crazy, and I'm not sure if that's possible. But yeah, we've thought about it. I told a few people already in the stream, and I'll say it again, that I am going to be at Dragonsteel in Utah in November. So if anybody's going to that, or you want to go to that, the tickets are pretty cheap, and it is in Utah, which is drivable for anybody on the West Coast. And I will be there, and we can hang out, take pictures, sign stuff, do whatever. So that will be a thing. But we don't have any plans for a formal meet and greet, because anytime I put out feelers, I thought about it. I seriously thought about it. But anytime I put out feelers, it didn't seem like there were enough people stateside or enough kind of other things going on at whatever convention it was to be able to kind of pull that off. Cream Puff, you could also choose not to say mean stuff. What? Are you talking to me? What did I say? What's going on, guys? Is there a schedule or something where we can see beforehand the movies of the week? There used to be. I've gotten lazy and I haven't posted it. Is really just the reality of it. I'm going to try and be better and go back to doing it, but I just haven't. I try to be good about that. I do a lot of the stuff behind the scenes, and I'm not perfect at doing all these sorts of things. So I will admit that is something I have slacked off on, but I'll try and get back to it maybe next week. D. Beesmer 25, thank you for the super chat. Love from NV. I'm assuming that's Nevada. Cheers. I think y'all would enjoy Revolver starring Jason Statham and Andre 3000. Revolver. I have never heard of that movie, and I like Jason Statham. Let me look this up right now. How long ago did this come out? 2005. Oh, it's Guy Ritchie. Oh, cool. Yeah, I'll check it out, man. I mean, I dig Guy Ritchie movies. A lot of other people don't, but I dig Guy Ritchie movies. Guy Ritchie movies are sick. Sue Hero, behave. I don't know what's going on, brother, but people are pissed at you in the comments. Behave or you're going to get penalized, brother. Josh A., thank you for the super chat, man. Cheers. Favorite horror movie, most depressing movie. One of the most depressing movies. Well, do I have to like it for it to be a depressing movie? Favorite horror movie might be one of the Conjuring movies. I think those are really, really well done and underrated. I think they're kind of overlooked as like pop horror. But I think they're just so much better than people like to give them credit for. And well done. Depressing movie. Midsommar made me depressed, but not because it was a bad movie, just because it was a disgusting movie. A good depressing movie, I would say, is Whiplash, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. And it's crazy and hardcore. That's a little depressing. Green Mile's depressing, sure, but I don't know. Green Mile is different. I don't know why that didn't depress me the way that it did a lot of other people. Like a lot of other people, that seemed to just like tear them up. Green Mile, but for me it didn't, and I'm not really quite sure why. All right, how we doing? Storytellers Guild has 38 members. All right, if we can get it to 49, the whole community will upgrade. So if you guys want to check out the Storytellers Guild, get the community upgraded, I would really appreciate it. We're doing a subathon, so please go. Link in the description. Totally free. Solar eclipse reactions. Do you have any advice on reacting? I've never done it before, and I just started a YouTube channel. I was hoping if you could give me some advice. Solar eclipse, where to start, brother? Like, I mean, give me some questions if you got them. Use OBS to screen record. Use Firefox or an alternative to Google Chrome, or it won't show up. Don't lie. There are plenty of people on the internet who lie for money, and there are plenty of other reactors. Not going to say who. I don't even have anybody in mind. I'm not going to start beef either. But there are plenty of other reactors that fake reactions or just kind of go over the top or whatever. Don't be one of those people. Be honest, be real. We try and do that as best we can, and you know, I think the fact that we're celebrating 200,000 subscribers is a testament to the fact that I think it speaks to you guys, and people relate to it. So thank you all. Yeah, that would be my advice, I suppose. Thank you, Cream Puff. Thank you so much. Yeah, if you're new to the stream, super chat. I'll answer a question, take a drink, and we'll have a good time. So feel free to do that, man. Yeah, Michael KB, you're totally right, dude. Getting to your first 1,000 subs is... getting to your first 100 subs, actually, is the hardest grind you'll ever have. By far. Solar Eclipse, are you doing reactions yet, dude? Are you, let me look at your channel. Guys, go check out Solar Eclipse reactions. That's what you should do. He has no videos and no subscribers yet, but he's in the chat. Everybody go subscribe to him. Give him some love. Give him a boost. Yeah, totally on point. Your first 100 subscribers is going to be the hardest thing you ever get. And it's going to be grueling and brutal, and it's going to feel like you're making just absolutely no headway. It's gonna stink, but do it anyway, and eventually it will grow from there. Oh, I'm sorry, Solar Eclipse. I mean, you can tell me your name if you want. I apologize. Yeah, go check out Solar Eclipse reactions, please. Some of the advice I've heard from reactions channels is have at least 10 videos all edited and ready to go before you upload, so that you will always be ahead. You can. It depends on how committed you are to scheduling. We didn't do that starting out, and if you're not doing a Patreon, you don't need to be ahead. I like that, but it really also depends, man. If you dedicate yourself to this thing, obviously there's a lot of luck involved as well. I'm not going to pretend it's all luck, but dedication definitely pays off. And so, yeah, just upload consistently 3-4 times a week probably, and you'll be good, man. Madison Sicka, 761 subscribers on your channel. What are you doing over there, bro? And for anybody being like, I'm a girl, you call me bro. I just call everybody bro because I'm from California. Holy. Sick, dude. Yeah, Madison's got a bunch of stuff over here. You guys are crazy creative. Madison Sicka has a bunch of videos. Check that out, dude. She's got a bunch of it's all aesthetic and like I've always sucked at aesthetic. I've been trying to do more Instagram content, which if you guys want to check out the Instagram, you can. I've just been trying to do more reels and like goofy stuff. And it's so hard to be anything that's aesthetically pleasing. It drives me crazy. I don't know why. I don't know why it's so much more interesting to do like videos to me, or filming on like a camera, but like filming in your phone and trying to be like, oh, this is cute. There's no like stuff in the background and blah. It drives me mad. I can't do it. I suck. I'm really bad at it. But it's really hard. These people who have these like aesthetic Instagrams, look, dude, you may not like what they're doing, and you may not think it's like crazy worthwhile, but it's hard. That's for sure. Top Notch Warrior 87, we are not going to be reacting to Korra. Sorry, brother. How far in advance do you film your reactions? Within a week of when it goes on Patreon? I've always wondered that. Yes, generally we will film it that week, or like a few. So it's 4 or 5 days, 3 days maybe, in advance, and then it's getting edited and put up to Patreon. So for most people, you're not getting it like you're getting it a week later because you're getting it on YouTube. But if you're on Patreon, yeah, it's like 3-4 days old. I didn't want to do too much far in advance because I always felt like I would disconnect from the audience. And also, it's just really hard work, and so I've never been able to get that far ahead. But yeah, we usually film our reactions 2-3 days in advance. Top Notch Warrior, yeah, I've already seen Legend of Korra. How do you four know each other? Well, Nobu is my cousin, so we grew up together. And then Haley and Stella are fans like you guys. We put out a post asking for more people to join our reaction team. And they reached out, and we had kind of like an interview process. And then we just went from there, man. It was pretty simple. I have tried to, any sort of hirings, employees, anything, I've always tried to pull from the audience. I just think that's cool. I think it's a cool way to do it. And I think it's kind of a way of giving back. It sounds really pretentious, but I think that, like, I imagine if I was in an audience, like watching a fan, like a YouTuber or whatever, I would love that opportunity. So I try most of the time to offer positions and things like that to you guys first. I did it for art, for the cover of this book that we're working on. If any of you guys are ARC readers and you want to read a book, I'm going to put something out later about that, but you guys can have early access and read my book and have your name in it, different things like that. So I really try and just kind of do that. All the editors have been hired through the channel. I mean, look, I'll also be honest and say that it's just easier that way. But I also just think it's cool. It's a cool way to like meet fans during the interview process. And I think it's kind of a cool way to give back, I suppose, to the community. So yeah, that's what we do, man. If you ever want a chance to work with us, just keep your eyes out. Haida from Iceland. Wow, what time is it? That's wild. Hello from Iceland. Who's your favorite writer or classic novel? Classic, Hatsy Patsy. What do you mean class? I can't do that. I mean, I just read Dune, so I love Dune. Dope. Dune is dope. Frank Herbert's a really great writer. I started reading Crime and Punishment. So Dostoevsky. Whew. That was really good. Didn't finish it because I'm lazy and I got distracted. But I plan on finishing it at some point. He was really good. Tolkien is great. I'm just starting to read Lord of the Rings, and it's genius. Like now, having had some experience writing and coming up with world building and all these crazy things, just the man's writing a history book for a made up world, and that's insane. Like, that is an accomplishment that needs to be called out because it's absurd. So yeah, Tolkien is definitely up there for me as one of my favorite authors, and I barely through chapter 1. Audrey, yeah, you could check out her Instagram and maybe she'll share with you. Sarah, my confirmation saint is Anthony of Padua. Yeah, we are reading The Lord of the Rings with the Storytellers Guild. So for the 800 this is the last time I'm going to rep it. But please go check out the Storytellers Guild. It's linked in the description. It can be completely and totally free for you if you want. You'll get free stories every month. That's it. It means a lot. It's really cool. We care a lot about it. Please go check it out. Circle oval shape. We do have a list of movies that we choose to react from, but we usually try and do it in like trends now. We've gotten not great at posting polls. We're probably going to put more polls up as we go along here. Madison Sicca, thank you. So, you're going to get me like tipsy here, dude. Thank you so much for the super chat. Wow. Do you collect anything? I pretty much collect books, mostly fiction like young adult fantasy and some romance novels, recipe books, movies, and also collectibles from Harry Potter and Snoopy. No, I am 21. I do not have the luxury of collecting things. I don't have a place of my own to collect things or store things. So books, I suppose. Even then with books, the thing I do is I'll go on thrift books or something super cheap, and I'll get the cheap books, and it'll be kind of ratty and linky, and maybe there's some writing on it or whatever. And I'll use that, and then the rule that I've made in my head is that if I like that book, then I'll get like the nice collector's hardcover, and collect that. Haven't done it yet because I haven't read enough, but that's the plan there. Actually, you know what? I do collect boots, kind of. Does that count? Collecting boots? I dig boots, dude. I love boots. It's like the only shoes I wear because I think they're cool. And so, yeah, whenever I can, I get boots. My rule has been if I publish a book, I can get a pair of boots every time I publish a book as like a gift, which is really cool. Yeah, so I think that's really fun. Thrift books is dope. I love thrift books. It's the best. Yeah, I can't. Well, I can read on a Kindle, and I've been tempted to just because you can carry it around. But there's something about the smell of books and the feel of a book and that like cringy, like you're sticking your face in a book that is just great. And I love, and I wouldn't want to lose that. I think that's part of the experience. I also think a lot of the other reason I do read is to get my face off of my phone. I think it's really important for everybody to do, and I just think it's a good thing to have to disconnect from the fake world and come back to the real one. And so I think that I wouldn't want to put it on a screen, or that would kind of defeat the purpose. Peyton, yeah, I still take it as a compliment, but I'm very young, and I have a lot to learn still. Yeah, I'm 21. There's a million things in the world I don't know yet. So thank you all for bearing with my ignorance and having fun with these reactions, man. A library books candle? That's sick. That's cool. Flower pot, do you have a job or something, or do you do YouTube full time? I do YouTube full time, except for writing. So check out the website in the description for updates about writing and my writing career. But besides that, I do YouTube full time. I really struggle. I really struggle to imagine stuff in my head. I know that sounds really weird, but I struggle to imagine books in my head. I have these vague ideas, but even when I write, I struggle to have a clear image in my head. Like I'll have to look up actors or stuff like that and then kind of like use my descriptions by looking at them. I don't know if it's just the fact that I haven't read and I'm getting back into writing and I'm learning how to do that, or what it is exactly. It kind of scares me. But sometimes I just struggle to like really have like a clear, crisp image in my head. I know I was talking to Haley about this one time, and she was saying like, dude, I can see everything perfectly in my head, which is crazy. I can't. I struggle. But I don't know. You guys tell me. Mikez Mikes. Thank you for the super chat. Books, ever read the Wingfeather Saga? Great set of young adult fantasy books. The art is great too. No, I haven't. I know they just made a show of it, which looked very interesting, and I heard about it through the show. I've heard very mixed reviews about the Wingfeather Saga. Some people say it's very good. Some people say it's not. I'd be interested. Who knows? Aphantasia? What the heck is aphantasia? Let me look that up. What is aphantasia? No, I don't think it's that extreme. I think my brain is just not as strong as it should be. I don't think it's something that extreme or diagnosable. How many books do you read a year? Oh, I haven't been reading very consistently, except for recently. So I've read like 5 or 6 books recently. But the year before, maybe 2 for like school. I don't do a lot of reading, so that's the problem, and that's one of the other reasons why I started to get into it. But hopefully in this next year, I'll be able to do it a lot more. My underrated book, and I'm mostly in the fantasy and sci-fi space, but underrated book by far, which I think I'm going to have a review coming out next week on the Guild, but underrated book review for sure is The Curse of Chalion. One of my favorite, if not my favorite, fantasy book of all time. I just loved it. It's perfect. It's not wasting time on goofy stuff. It's not trying to set things up the whole time. Nothing like that. One of the best ones I've ever seen. So, great book if you're looking for a great book to read. Oh my gosh. We have 100 people in the stream. Hello, 100 people. How are we doing? We have not had a stream with 100 people this late into the stream in like forever. That's insane, dude. Thank you, guys. Maname Shravage. I'm currently writing a book. What suggestions would you have for me? Love your content. Well, I have to know more about the book. I also think you should check out the Storytellers Guild. Yeah, I don't know. Tell me. I mean, like let me know more about it. What kind of book is it? I would need something there. There's so much to like writing a book. Like you could be writing a finance book or like a fantasy book or whatever. Also, I'm just getting into this, man. So I'm not going to pretend like I'm an expert. I may not have an answer for you. There's a good chance I won't have an answer for you. I just watched the thing, heard of the house that Jack built. Huh. No, never heard of that. What is it about? Nydia, your family and you watch my reactions? That's insane. Guatemala? Thank you. That's so weird. I don't think about global fans. Okay, I do, but I don't think about like non-English speaking fans. You think about Europe maybe a little bit, but like, oh yeah, Guatemala, South America, over here it's insane. South Africa, what? Like that's absurd. So thank you so much. All right, cool. Thank you, Haida. I'll keep those in mind. Maname, world building's hard, man. I spent a lot of time prepping. I think that's the best way to do it. Spend time prepping, plan out your world. I think the best fantasy books are ones where they clearly know things, even if they don't tell you everything. So I would spend a lot of time world building, a lot of time prepping, and just reading. And yeah, man, it'll come to you. Just write every day, dude, if you can. Just set aside time every week to write and be consistent about it and have a minimum amount of time set aside to do it. And then if you have any free time in between, you got to drive to work, drive back, spend the time thinking about it so that when you do sit down and write, you can put in all of the time that you possibly can into actually just like, oh, I'm going to write. I'm going to get this writing down. I planned the whole scene in my head already, so now I'm just going to write and do it that way. And I think you'll crank out a great product, man. And there's tons of places you can post your story to get people's opinions, tons of places that you can get editors and different things like that to help you workshop your story. We are at 92 members of the Storytellers Guild free tier and 37 members for the premium tier. Can we get to 140? So 100 members on the free tier and 40 on the locals. That would be dope. Mike Z's, Mike E's, Mike Z's, me Keys. What's up, man? Thank you so much for the super chat, brother. Cheers, for sure. Okay, that's so awesome. Yeah, writing is so fun. Writing is really, really fun. And you can just kind of sit down and get some music going, get some fantasy stuff going, and you just like get in a vibe, and it's dope. And you just crank out stuff. What do you think is an underrated story element that's super important to great stories? Like something people don't notice, it really makes a difference. Good side characters. I don't think I'm going to be like new in saying this. I'm not going to pretend like I'm some genius of storytelling. I'm not. I'm not a Tolkien. I'm not a Neil Gaiman. I'm not George R. R. Martin. I'm not. But I think a lot of people don't think about the side characters. And just because they barely talk or they talk only once or twice, the way that I think you make a built-out kind of world and you make it feel like this lived-in crazy thing is by having very dynamic side characters. So that would be my thing there, dynamic side characters. Do you have an October list of horror movies made out yet? Nope. Feel free to put some suggestions in the comments. No way. We don't have anything figured out for October yet. That is far too... that's far too in advance for us to figure out yet. Christy Janvier. What do you do with your time besides YouTube? I write. That is all I've been doing in my time. Trying to get this book out by November. I've had no time but to read, write, sleep, and do YouTube. And that has been all of my time, and it's dope. I mean, obviously, there's like family stuff, and I got like private obligations. But as far as like occupation, that's all I've been doing. Who knows where it's going to be in the future? The Witch. Is this the one with Anya Taylor-Joy? The Witch? If it is, then I have seen that already. Yeah, Kay, I didn't like The Witch. Okay, I liked the movie. The movie was pretty good. But I removed we did a reaction to it, and I deleted it because, and look, you can call me crazy or superstitious, whatever you want to call me. But I looked into it, and apparently there were screenings at satanic temples all around the U.S. They, like, hosted screenings for free of this movie. Now, when they were asked for comment, they claimed, like, look, we're just subversive. We don't worship Satan. We just say we worship Satan to subvert the idea of Satan being evil, which might be true, but I thought it was weird, and I was like, I don't want to support that. That sounds weird to me. I'm not going to leave that on the channel, so I didn't. That's the story there. Yeah, exactly, the overview. They do always, like, not to be conspiratorial, but isn't that also exactly what an actual satanic temple would do? Gustin. What, a creepy satanic temple that supported reaction videos or something? Supported movies in Hollywood? What do you mean? I'm sure it is, but clarify what you mean by that's a great short story idea, because I want to be able to steal it and have a great short story. Yeah, I mean, look, like I said, Kay, whether you believe in it or not, it's a little weird. And so I was like, meh, I just don't want to deal with that. All right, guys, I am going to be leaving in about 20 minutes here, maybe a little earlier. I just want to be honest here. So thank you for being here. If you still got some questions, feel free to throw it in a super chat or in the chat, since things are slowing down here a little bit, and we'll talk, we'll hang out. If you're also new, check out the Storytellers Guild, linked in the description. It's completely and totally self-explanatory, and it's a big passion project of the channel. Ed, yeah, man. Dude, get some sleep. Have a great morning, night, whatever else. Audrey, I am engaged, yeah. Thank you. How is wedding planning? Wedding planning is crazy, but good. Yeah, man. Wedding planning is crazy. I wouldn't do it more than once in my life. I'll just leave it there. Christy, how do we decide what to react to next? We look at how things have performed. We look at what you guys are interested in. We definitely take a lot of your suggestions into account. Yeah, and then like I said, we've been really getting into doing series of things because I really like it's really fun to be able to sit down and watch all the Pixar movies ever made, kind of in a row. Or sit down and watch this whole series in a row, or all the Spielberg movies ever made in a row. There's something about it that it kind of gives you a perspective on the industry, and it's just really fun. 10-second pitch. What's your story that you're working on? Story writer myself. Always great to find another writer. It is a fantasy crime thriller in a Victorian world. No, sorry. It's a Victorian crime thriller in a fantasy world. Like Seven meets Bloodborne. Thanks, Kay. I definitely will. I don't know about that. I don't know if you're going to see her on the channel. I try and keep my private life just private. But possibly, we've talked about it. It's an option. Maybe in the future we'll do it, depending on where things go with the channel and other things like that. Mackenzie, do you have a favorite book? Favorite book? You probably should say the Bible. I don't know. I don't have a favorite. I haven't read enough to have a favorite book, Mackenzie. I really haven't done enough. Yeah, Mike, check out the website, and I'm gonna do updates and all sorts of stuff there, and then you'll get early access to when it all comes out. It'll be great. So if you do want to check that out, feel free to, brother. I'm real excited. I think it's gonna be awesome. What kind of books do you write, dude? What are you working on? What's the worst book I ever read? I don't want to talk. If I want to try and get into this and I'm doing like public stuff, I don't want to bash people, especially if I may know them. So, the worst book I've ever read. I don't know. I feel like I'm so early in my reading journey that I haven't read a lot of bad books, and I'm only reading the good ones. Does that make sense? I read a bad book, but I don't want to call it out because the guy is a public figure. And not like that much above me. So I don't really want to like trash on people and then just be like, oh, see, this guy said he didn't like you and blah, blah, blah. So at least for now, I'm not going to do that. Yeah. For people who want to know, I'm from California, like from LA, basically. LA is huge. So if you've never been to California, LA County is just this like massive bit of land that kind of like encapsulates a ton of little micro cities. So yeah, I'm in LA and it's great. It's kind of cliche. It's not everything that people make it out to be. I don't, live next to Brad Pitt. I don't see him every day. None of those sorts of crazy things. It's all pretty chill. But it's wonderful out here, of course. Weather's great. Taxes aren't. That's your California summary right there. Thanks, Madison. Twyla Starfire. Hi, what's going on? Working on a fantasy book yourself? Hey, man, that's dope. Throw some of it in the guild. I'd love to read some of it. It'd be dope. Doctor Strange. Cheers, brother. Onwards to 300K. That's great, dude. Yeah, overview. I don't really know what to think about talking about it on the channel very much, but I don't want to hide it either. That's what a Brad Pitt initiate would say. Yeah, dude, maybe he's on the other side of the camera right now. Who knows? Maybe he's hyping me up. Maybe we're chilling and having drinks together. Maybe that's how I learned about whiskey. If I learned about whiskey from Brad Pitt, I would tell you, trust me. I would shamelessly promote it and get clout. I know channels that basically are built on roasting. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, look, because I'll watch stuff like that. I won't even pretend that I don't watch stuff like that. But I don't know if I would feel right doing it myself, which sounds really hypocritical, but I do think there's a different sort of moral obligation if you're creating the content yourself. I don't know, dude. It's a whole philosophical like rabbit hole that you could go down of if you should be like roasting people or even more importantly, like kind of like reporting on their like dirt. It just kind of sucks. It's just kind of like people trash on reactors being like, you don't make content. I feel like something like that would be worse than reacting, to be honest, because it just feels so like you're benefiting off of like the failure of other people. I don't know, man. I'm just rambling here. Donald Bass, thank you for the super chat. Cheers, Donald. You have awesome reactions. Great job. Keep learning and writing, brother. Thank you so much, man. Do you have a question, bro? Thank you, Twyla. Yeah, let me know if you got any questions, Twyla. Welcome to the super chat. What are ways you've come up with ideas for writing? Never use writing prompts. I hate writing prompts. And not because they're not good or they can't help you, but because I hate the idea of a writing prompt. I think it's cheating. I know that's a really hot take. Writing prompts are cheating, bro. Come up with your own freaking idea. Read other stuff, watch other stuff, and give it time. Your brain is weird and like magical, and that's why people talk about the muses and like inspiration from the gods, because your brain is weird, and you can start thinking about an idea, and then it works in the background of your brain, and then it kind of like formulates. So give your mind time to think about it. That's my big thing. I spent a few months planning this novel before I started it because I wanted to give my mind time to think about it. And even writing it, I'm kind of like switching stuff and doing stuff as you go and finding that balance. Yarzilla, not super late, bro. You got about 10 minutes to hang out with us. Would you ever write a book series? Mia, I am writing a book series. That's what this first book is. It's book 1 of a series. It's book 1 of a potentially 6-book series, like a trilogy, and then there's a sequel trilogy. That's the goal. So yeah, check out the website, support it, and get ready, because I think it's going to be really cool. Solar eclipse reactions. Do you have any advice on how to get comfortable around the camera? Comfortable about using the camera, or comfortable about talking on camera? I don't know. I've been on camera for a very long time, because even before we did these videos, I was doing YouTube. I've been doing YouTube for like 5, almost 6 years now. So I don't know, man. Just do it. Just start out and do it. It's going to be awkward. It's going to be weird. It will never be totally natural. Like, I feel natural on camera, but it still also feels like a social situation. You kind of play things up a little bit. You're looking for jokes. You're looking for laughs, the same way that you would at like your grandma's Christmas party. Yeah, and just do it. And maybe that's just my personality talking. But even if you never take the stakes away, right? Don't publish a video, but just film. Set up a camera. Get used to the lights. Get used to the thing in your face, and just film. And you'll get used to it. And like I said, take away the stakes, and remember that like when you're making your own videos, this is the best thing about making your own videos. You have all the control. You can delete the video. You can post it if you like it. You can do all those sorts of things. And don't worry, man. The things that you notice are a lot more obvious to you than they are to other people, I guess. I don't know. I feel like a inspirational speaker when I'm talking about this kind of stuff. Mackenzie, yeah, thank you. I'm really excited to share it with you guys. If you want to be an ARC reader, check out the business email. Email me, hit me up. I'm looking for 30 people. I'll post things about it later, but just while I'm on stream with you, check it out, and you get some early access to it, and then get your name in the book. Little do we know that James got a cardboard cutout of a person with camera for eyes. Holy, that's a horror story right there, Mike. That's freaky. Yeah, it's so funny that you don't think about being on camera. And I do. Okay, see, that's weird. I do. When I filmed those videos for the 200,000 subscriber, we had this whole studio, and it was really cool. That freaked me out. I was freaking out. I was nervous. I was stuttering. I was saying things wrong. I filmed it 1,000,000 times. It was just a switch. Like, I sit here with my own camera, nobody else in the room. I film it myself. I edit it a lot of times myself. Like you have complete and total control over everything. And so you don't feel as scared. But when I did those videos, that was scary, bro. There were other people in the room. I was freaking out. I was awkward. It's a thing, man, even after doing it for a while. Kyle, probably not. I mean, there's a part of me that would want to. Obviously, it would be very popular if we went and watched Harry Potter again. But it just feels cheap. We have been, and I'll put a poll up about it later, but we have been playing with the idea of doing Lord of the Rings because Haley hasn't seen Lord of the Rings, and I legitimately, I just want to watch it again. I love those movies, and I would watch them again. But I don't know. You guys let us know. Good night, the overview. Have a good night, man. I don't know if I look like Ted Bundy, but I hope not. Okay, that is something we've discussed. I don't know if it's possible technically. That's the only problem. But I would be down. I would be down possibly. I don't know how to get past the technical problems. I'm not good at technical things, so we could see possibly. By the way, I'm gonna head out in about 7 minutes here, guys. So, Mike, have a great night, man. Thank you for all the luck and inspiration, man. Wow, Tenshi Umi, that's insane. You live in Japan, bro? That's wild. Give me 1 second, guys. Yeah, Solar, have a great night. Rebecca Smith. Sleeping over at your friend's house. That sounds like a blast. Hello. God bless. Thank you. I'm heading out in a second here, but I appreciate you popping in the stream. Of every movie you've reacted to, in which universe would you like to live in? I don't know. I mean, they're always pretty dangerous because there needs to be conflict. Nothing that's like dangerous. Not Jurassic Park, not the Marvel Universe, not Star Wars, not Harry Potter, not Lord. I would live in Hobbiton. You know what? I would live in Hobbiton. That would be dope. I'd smoke pipe, and I'd read, and I could write, and everything would be great. I would live in Hobbiton. That's something I would do. Sarah Wong, how much of them do I remember? I remember them pretty well. Jessica, before you go, you have been on the streams so much. So I just wanted to give you the upgrade that you deserved here and make you a mod. Yeah, this whole stream has been about smoking and whiskey. I smoked a cigar for the first time last week. That was dope. That was a very manly moment. Cigar smoking is so fun. Maybe it's the opposite of manly. It's a little bit childish, but it's fun. Jessica has the power. So everybody better watch out. Don't screw with Jessica. Because she could take you down, bro. She could block you now. You better watch out. Hey, dude. We make mods, all right? Yeah, thank you, Twyla. Hang out, for sure. All right, guys. 3 minutes left. Then I got to head out. On a final note from me, check out the link in the description. Storytellers Guild. It's super cool. It's amazing. If you got any questions, any last thoughts, any last anything, throw it my way. I'll answer any question you got right now. Throw it in the chat and I'll answer it as best I can. 100%. Donald Bass, that's so awesome, bro. Congratulations. That's incredible. I don't even have a bachelor's degree. That's badass, dude. Congrats. Thanks, Pop Quiz. Have a great night. Will you watch Transformers Age of Extinction? Already did. What's 1 divided by 0? 1. Au revoir. Wow. Thank you. Title of the books. No, I don't. I'm playing with different titles of the books. I do not know the title yet. But the moment I get a title and a cover, I will send it out and you will all hear about it. Storytellers Guild is great. Thanks, Abby. Yeah, hey, man, tell your friends. We're going to be putting out coupons for maybe free stuff or like 50% off all over the place. So check that out. Deadpool, I actually might do that, brother. I got to come up with 3 or 4 or 5 titles first. I'm struggling with that. But when I do, I will. Name, don't ever worry. That's a dope profile picture. I appreciate the respect for high art. And if you want to ask me some questions before I have to leave in like 2 seconds, go ahead, Name, because I feel bad that you came late. Oh, thank you, Donald. Thank you so much, brother. You have a good night. Sandra from Egypt. Holy, that's insane. From Egypt? That's wild. What time is it in Egypt? I'm asking you guys questions. I flipped it. All right. 1 minute left. Any final questions? Yes, Jerzilla, I will. I post it every week. No more questions about reactions. Killing the vibe, dude. Time is late. Have a good night. Blessings. Thank you, Jessica. Have a great night. Oh, awesome, Mackenzie. Welcome. I am in Pacific Standard Time Zone. This has been fun. Madison, you too. Have a great night. If you're interested in reading the book early and getting your name put in the book for being an ARC reviewer and kind of telling me what you think about it and reading it real quick, email peeweecinemasbusiness@gmail.com and I will add your name. I'll post more things to come there. Thank you, guys. Have a great night. Let me know if you want me to do more streams like this. You guys are awesome. Thank you for 200,000 subscribers. Thank you for joining the Storytellers Guild. Thank you for being all the great, amazing, beautiful people that you are. Have a great night, guys.